Hey everyone, Wander here, and welcome to Warhammer Survivors. Yeah, they made a 40k and Age of Sigmar's, Vampire Survivors tie-in Bullet Heaven, and I'm excited for that. We're gonna dive into the Sigmar side, because I'm a Sigmar player, and see where it goes. So, I guess we're just playing as Neve Blacktalon. As far as I can tell, this just looks like a reskin of Vampire Survivors with Warhammer content, which is an interesting choice, but honestly not one that I'm going to complain deeply about. I like Vampire Survivors a lot. I thought it was really cool. Okay, good. We have music. I was going to be actually a little bothered if we didn't. Okay, though of course oh boy, look at this. Okay, that's a lot. There we go. Let's see, what else do we have? Weapon screen shake, map, statistics options. Okay. So it looks like I've just got a directional attack, directional like axe swing and nothing more. So fires another projectile, shoots the nearest enemy, generates damaging zones. Null oil, of course. Let's see. Full equipment list. Okay, increase your chance. So do I want the Bolt Storm pistol? Fires projectile. So yeah, let's grab the Bolt Storm. Upgrading my weapons wouldn't be a bad idea to begin with. Yeah, I want to go adventuring and looking for some of that stuff, but I think right now I just need gear and equipment. Okay, fires another projectile on the axe. Okay, so that just increases the range on it, which is still very good. Alright, there we go. Yeah, I got into Warhammer kind of early last year. We were at our local game store and they had the Skaven Tide box for cheap, and I was just like, alright, sure. Increases damage, glue. Reduces incoming damage by 1, increases retaliatory damage by 10%. Interesting, tempting. I think I'm just gonna focus on my actives for the time being. We have no, like, context for which of these pairs with what. For evolution's sake, so I'm just gonna have to kind of play it by ear. Yeah, we have all these torches all over the place, so I'm gonna have to go break. Maybe. Let's see. What was I gonna say? I don't know. As somebody who very much was into Vampire Survivors. Okay. Fires another projectile, size of attack increases. Now let's go for the extra attack on the Bolt Storm pistol. Because we kind of want to use as many of those as we can. I think I have this character. I have a lot of these characters. But yeah, so I got the Skaven Tide box, so I got Stormcast and I got Skaven, and that was kind of like my start. I built them all, and I've been slowly painting the Skaven, but turns out it takes like an hour, throws exploding dice, damage equal to the amount rolled, reload time reduced by 0.2 seconds. Let's go for that, because I think that reduces their fire rate fairly dramatically. I don't know what the token is for. That might be a meta progression thing. Let's see. But yeah, it turns out it only takes like a couple minutes to slap together and clean up a model. It takes... Okay, is there a way to skip? I mean, fires another projectile, sure, why not? I'm kind of fully expecting to get just absolutely hammered here, and that is okay. Let's see. But yeah, only takes a couple of minutes to put together a model. It takes hours to paint them. Paint them well, I guess would be the way of putting it. Let's see. Now, do I actually want to try and visit one of these question marks slots? Maybe? I was hoping to find some wall chicken, but my Stormcast don't eat wall chicken, apparently. And unfortunately, I think the axe just isn't, I mean, it's terrible at shooting anything above or below me. So Gauntlet, I'm going to keep going for the Bolt Storm pistol just because it's keeping the things off the top of my head and my butt. Okay, do I actually want to check the map? Because we got a billion things to check out here. And I should be maybe looking for some of them at the very least. But because because I can't help myself, I did end up collecting OCRks, Chaos Dwarves, though only like the Spearhead for it, and then a whole Orc Iron Jaws army. And yeah, I've been making my way through those. The problem is I'm weirdly lucky when it comes to like acquiring things that I want to collect. So I'll, you know, walk into a store and be like, oh, you know, I don't intend on, you know, really buying anything today. And then I look at the shelf and then it's like, hey, here's Ionis Cryptborn for like, you know, 40% off. Oh, you know, I wanted him eventually. I didn't want him now. But at the same time, it would be insane for me not to pick him up for, you know, that much less money. I think I should have grabbed the Nuln Oil and invested into it. Probably still should. Let's give my... I'm going to try and get the Stormbolt. Oof. Yeah, I have no healing, and my hitbox is just large enough that I'm going to just get clobbered here. Is there any way to speed it up? No, it doesn't look like it. Well, at least the Boltstorm crossbow is poor good. Okay. Well, do I just bail? I think we're just going to bail. It might not be a bad idea for me to go looking for those, I have him too. That's the Gracier. The other one is like, what, the Warplock Engineer? No, it's just the Engineer? I forget. I haven't exactly looked at my stat blocks yet. I'm still in the building and painting and prepping phase as opposed to the, like, actually playing, which is weird. You know, you spend a ton of money and effort on a... Let's grab the Nuln Oil. Ton of effort on a game, but you don't actually play it. You just kind of appreciate the models. It's like the weird allure of it, because I used to collect Magic the Gathering cards, but you kind of want to play Magic the Gathering cards, otherwise you know, you just put the cards in a bin somewhere and you don't think about them, and that feels wrong to like the highest order. Warhammer is like a freaking crafting project. You know, it's like, you know, build the models, clean them up, maybe do some kit bashing. This Skaven Tide is a problem. I can't go anywhere because I can't go down. Oh no. Yeah, I have like no healing. Oh, good. And the Gracier has gotten close enough to me they can hit me. Oh my god, they're not stopping. Alright, there they go. I could kill the Gracier, but I kind of don't wanna. Okay. Oh, I missed it. I don't know what half of these do. Which is slightly unfortunate. For people who are not aware, Nuln Oil is a, it's a shader. You put it on top of pre-existing paints and it darkens them down a bunch. Used for like quickly adding darks and shadows and whatnot. It does tend to muddy things, so I don't like it that much, but it's probably one of the most recognizable paints in the Warhammer set. Okay, so we got a Fire Slayer. Is he helping? I don't fully know. Well, we get a bunch of stuff. This needs, like, some heavy metal going on in the background, rather than just ba-ding, 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 ba-ding. Like, I need some guitars to just start rolling in. Effect lasts longer, base damage up by 10. And then some. Okay, has he just joined me? I'm not entirely sure. He's hanging out. Maybe I just need to interact with him? I don't know how to do so. Oh, I see. Thank you for the rescue, Neve Black Talon. Oh, Ulgronthir. I've heard the name. I don't think I've seen the character. Oh wait, he just follows me around. Oh, sick. So I'm assuming he is now also a playable character that I can work with. I mean, I really appreciate the fact that he does just kind of join my little warband here. Fires another projectile, area of attack increases. Yeah. Yeah, I should have been not stubborn and actually gone for the Nuln Oil first. I knew it was going to be good. I was going to try and lean into a projectile build, but frankly, I don't think there is a build to follow here. I think, I don't have this one. I want this guy. But unfortunately, So I've collected a... Oh, healing. Perfect. I've collected a goofy amount of Stormcast, kind of due to sheer luck, where... Let's see. I've collected a bunch of Stormcast, mostly due to goofy luck. There was a magazine subscription service called Hatchet that had, like, just a ludicrous amount of Stormcast packed into it, and so it was like $15 for a $60 character or more. And so it's just like, yeah, I can't say no to that. And, you know, find my faction's, like, high-end leaders for a decent chunk, like a extreme discount. It's like, yeah, really hard to say no to that. I've not had nearly the same luck with the Skaven, but I also find the Skaven to be kind of hit and miss. There's a charm there, but they're also very body horror in a way that, like, I get squeamish. I don't mind fighting Skaven. You know, it's not like Nurgle where I actually get a little uncomfortable looking at them. Hopefully we can find a magnet at some point, because I am going to need one. Let's see. But, so like one of my favorite units, in the Skaven army, or originally favorite. Do you want to just... Let's actually start raising my damage. I want to see if I can maybe unlock an evolution. I'm not betting on it, but if we get lucky, I'm not going to say no. But yeah, one of my favorite units that I wanted to collect for the Skaven was the Storm Vermin. It's the Storm Vermin, right? Or... It's either Storm Vermin or it's Storm... Shoot. I forget. It's been a little bit since I looked at them. But they're like big honking armored dudes with like Gatling arms, and one has a chest gun, and they look really cool. Problem is, I didn't realize this because I've literally never seen them from the backside, but they have tiny little brain rats on the back, and it just, something about that just icked me out to the point where I'm like, no, I'm pretty happy with just collecting the single spearhead that I have that has not leaned too hard into body horror. Let's see. All base... Wait, that's all base damage up by 10. Not 10%, I think. Oh, magnet. Beautiful. Let's see. All base damage up by 10. Maybe that is 10%, and they just haven't... I have no idea. Yeah, let's get the Tempest Axes to max. Max out Gauntlet. Start working on the dice. It looks like the pool is just extremely limited. Oh my god, how many levels was I missing? All of them, clearly. But yeah, so after seeing the... You know what, I can actually just look it up. I have the unit. I have the app next to me. Open, because I was looking at my army. Skaven. Yes, Battle Tome. Okay, it was... I have the Rat Ogres. It was Storm Fiends, not Storm Vermin. Storm Fiends have the little brain rats that I'm not keen on. Still don't know what these things are, but let's... let's go look at what the other things I can find are. There's stuff on the map. But yeah, so the Storm Fiends had the little brain rats, which kind of turned me off on it. The most recent box for... the most recent box for the Skaven actually looks quite good, and catches my attention a little bit. But, hey, there we go, that's a Rat Ogre. I have that guy. It is so funny playing this and being like, I have that model. Yeah, the Storm Vermin are the dudes with the red armor. The Rat Ogre is the dude with the, like, cannon arm. Though it does amuse me that it's not actually using the cannon arm, it's just waddling towards me forever. I mean, it's Vampire Survivors. They can't give everybody crazy unique patterns. I really do appreciate the sheer unit variety that we've been running into so far, though. Okay, there's beer up here. Beer. Obtain beer. Character recovers HP per second. Oh, beautiful. It's not much, but it'll stack up. So we do have another magnet. I can leave that. It's nice, but it's not end all be all good. I really appreciate that this is, let's see. I really appreciate that this is kind of borrowing, clearly based on Vampire Survivors at its best. Grants access to the armory menu. Yeah, Age of Sigmar? Sorry, it's Vampire Survivors at its absolute best, rather than kind of early Vampire Survivors or anything like that. Oh, damn, okay. What are we even gonna level up here? Glue. I guess we did get the beer stein. We should probably go rushing for the next. Let's see. What do we even have? Oh, the magnets might actually be baked in, but yeah, let's head up this direction, see if I can get one of those like weird skull things. My entire goal here is to just get as much stuff potentially unlocked as I possibly can over the course of this run. I hold no illusions that I'm going to win. I'm probably not going to. We don't have any evolutions. And we literally don't have enough abilities unlocked for me to max out my available slots. And that isn't really a big deal. Yeah, so when Vampire Survivors had originally unlocked, there were like a couple of secrets and specials and whatnot, but the only thing that was really setting apart was just the fact that it was a good time, and the fact that there were like a small handful of secrets on the map, if even. And Punk was, you know, able to really beef the game up in such a substantial way. The frustration is that so many bullet heavens that have followed in Vampire Survivors' footsteps. Oh, God. Okay. Well, that almost killed me. We survived it. But barely. Yeah, note to self, avoid the giant super bomb. But yeah, so this already has the things that are placed on the map to actually like go find and explore and interact with. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's fun. They've actually got one of their infinite spells. The just giant ringing bell. Or screaming bell? Is it always the screaming bell? Because I know the screaming bell is like an actual like unit you can pick up. Okay, magnet. Magnet is here. Do we need the magnet? I have no idea. I'm gonna grab it anyway because why not? Might as well level up the beer stein. I just have no idea what I'm going to invest it into. Collectible coins? Yeah. I'm just gonna go for the early windfall. There's other stuff that would be nice to get. Oh. There's some health down south? Oh, I see it. It's behind this rock. Okay, that hurt a little, but it's okay. Oh, I am getting harried. I am also getting thrown off by the dwarf following me around, as I 100% keep seeing him and keep trying to dodge him, or at least like instinctively wanting to dodge him because I'm not used to having a follower in these games. Is what it is. Let's see. Okay, a little bit more. I think these are just boots that are going to give me some movement speed, but that's fine. Ooh. Is that an assassin rat? It might have been. Yeah, the most recent set added a bunch of Clan Eshin, which is like their stealth stabby assassin rats into the game. I don't know. Adding a bunch of units and whatnot. And that was a faction that has a sub-faction of Skaven that hasn't gotten a whole lot of like good units in a while. And so I'm like, okay, maybe I could get into Skaven and just like lean really hard into Eshin instead. Because I really like the like kind of technologist faction. They have some really fun artillery, but they also have an amount of like body horror things that I'm like, well, I don't know if I like that. Stormcast don't have that problem. Trolls don't have that problem. Technically, the OCRs are extreme body horror, as they're out to straight up just like take people's bones to use to craft their armies, which is extremely cool. Also kind of screwed up and weird. Okay, there's the thing that absolutely just does look like an Eater of Worlds. Oh. Hi. So it's a temp power-up that makes me get munchy. I feel like the game has decided that it is time for me to probably perish. Well, considering the only thing left on the map is like a weird sparkly that I don't recognize, maybe it's a good time. We have a decent amount of cash. I'd like to find another magnet, maybe. Yeah, the problem is I'm just not killing... Oh boy, they hurt. I'm just not killing them fast enough. And so they're able to stack up and just kind of wreck me. Oh, don't tempt me like this. Oh, there's two of them. All right. Okay, we're just trying to make as much money as we possibly can. Oh, we got an evolution, actually. We got the double axes. Evolved Tempest Axes. Swirling horizontal axe swipes fueled by lightning. Let's see what it looks like. That's pretty good. Oh, that's very good. So what's the, evolution? Boots is the combo. Good to know. Well, we have a evolution. I don't think it's enough. But it's at least something. I got that guy. Go find another one of those bombs. I figure I might as well clear out this entire dang map. And get what I can from it. Oh, we killed him. I guess he didn't have a, guess he didn't have a treasure chest for me. Guess they don't always. There we go. I had the music literally double what the sound effects are, and it still feels kind of soft to me. I'll have to turn it up between runs. Let's go grab this die. I'm assuming it just gives me additional rerolls, which is completely pointless because I have nothing to reroll at this point. But like, I'm in the business of picking up everything on the map at least once, just to see if it unlocks any kind of achievement for me. Let's see. The other question is, how long are the runs? Are they the full 30 minutes, or did they reduce it down to 20 for this game? Okay, where's this bomb? Further over here. I kind of wish there was a marker if you got close. It's like a minor thing, but it's a... would kind of help pick it out in the middle of this mess. There it is. Okay, so this time we know we want to not be there as that goes off. I don't think that really helped me that much. The Claw Lord, but not on a Gnaw Beast. I have that unit too. This is so weird. Kind of fun though, like, I don't know. A huge reason why I got into Warhammer recently is just because I've needed something to latch onto that wasn't just video games. Of course, you know, now, I mean, there have been constant, fairly decent Warhammer video games. Let's see. A little bit of health. Makes sense. Oh, that must have been a condensed experience. Crystal. So one thing I really like about Vampire Survivors that a lot of its imitators fail to notice is that to kind of prevent experience from just collecting the map and causing lag, they actually get condensed down into crystals that can, you know, that go from like blue to green to red to like purple or something like that. And so it means that even if you've managed to like walk 1,000 miles from where an experience crystal drops, it slowly gets absorbed into this like bigger collected. Oh my god, they're just chucking ogres at me. Well, that's fine. So we've unlocked the Sabaton, the Hourglass, 500 gold coins for the Tempest Axes, Tape Measure, White Dwarf, Dice Cube, Liquid Green Stuff, Lightning Bolt Scatter Die, Bugman's Tankard, Nebulous Sea Frog, Bandolier War Scroll Magnet, Grand Blade, Golden Demon, and Ugraman Thier. Neat. Okay, so now we've got some meta progression we can invest into if we want to. So redeploys once with 50% health. Makes things harder, more coins per rank, more experience per rank. Chance to get, it's chance to get lucky. It's not a reroll thing. Experience gain is kind of, or the experience is kind of nice. Duration of weapon effects, toughness. This is the one that I definitely want to put some points into. Let's see, max health. Let's see, use weapons 1% faster per rank. That's very limited. I guess let's just max these out. Is it just mirrored? Is this meta progression like considerably more limited than most other bullet heavens? Oh well. Okay. Let's see. So we have objectives. What am I missing? So do a run with Ugraman Thier. Hide completed. Yeah. What do we have left? So survive 5 minutes with Ugraman Thier. Let's see, evolve null oil, evolve all of the things, hold 6 weapons, and survive 30 minutes. So some of these might be a little tricky. Okay, good. I forgot you have to pay money to unlock a character. Well, yeah, let's give them a shot. Let's see. Am I going to be fighting Nurgles this time around? Do I actually want to pick anything up? I kind of feel like the best thing for me to do is hang out and wait. Oh, if I do this, control. Oh, that's just full equipment list. Oh, okay. So the way this guy's attacks work is they fire upwards and around. Wait, do I actually have this guy, now that I'm thinking about it? He's, I think he might be one of my Warcry units that I've built. No, but I think he's kind of part of it. There's a sub-faction of the, Fire Slayers that specifically raise, like, dragon eggs and stuff. Okay, so Boltstorm Pistol. Oh, wait, does it just add her into the mix? That's fun. I wonder what the actual, like, practical applications of having multiple characters follow you around, apart from just, like, why not? I guess it does mean that the attacks come from them as opposed to you. Which has some interesting potential. I'm just going to take the damage. Size of attack increase, character gets more experience, Tempest Axes. We technically want all of them. I guess I'm just going to grab the Tempest Axes. Not that they're my favorite, but the problem with the problem with my fire meteors. Let's see, projectile speed is good. I think I'm just going to grab... Oh, why did I do that? Let's see. Grab the null oil. So here's the problem. We already have dice. So I do not need to pick up boots. I do not need to pick up tankard. I do not need glue. That's something I got to keep in mind. That's why I was like, why did I pick up the dice? Because you can actually go above cap. Which is going to be quite helpful. Okay, so we do not need the scatter die. We do need the gauntlet. I'm just going to try and fill my slots as much as possible. Go from here. I was painting this guy just the other day, the dude with the dual claws. I mean, I've been painting a lot of these basic clan rats. I need to go back to. Problem is right now I've got a board game, like, ooh. Can I check armory? Can I check the map? The answer is no. Magnet. Yeah, because there's no magnet on the board. I think this is a one-off power-up rather than the magnet that I just grabbed. I hope. We'll see. Let's see. But yeah, so it's a board game, like, trade-in day. I'm trying to avoid saying the name because it's, like, more unique. Lightning bolt for the projectile speed? Yeah. I don't want people Googling where I'm going to be at. That's going to be weird. Well, I don't know if anybody's going to be Googling anymore. Google search has become considerably more useless. And so it's kind of weird to even use it as a verb when it's now completely and inexorably broken. What was I going to say about anything? I know I was kind of talking about getting into Warhammer. Huge reason why I got into it is I needed a hobby that wasn't just a video game that I couldn't just monetize. Though some part of me is like, okay, I could maybe make some Warhammer videos. I mean, I'm making one right now. It's just not, you know, on the actual physical process of me making minis or painting them or anything like that. That and sales and some other things. I don't think Hourglass is on the map, so we can pick this one up. Yeah, I might also not be able to get certain evolutions because the passive associated with them might be locked under certain other upgrades. We'll see. But yeah, I was kind of getting into Magic the Gathering again because they had both the Lorwyn and the Strixhaven sets. And both... Shell really liked both of those, and I generally appreciate them. So I was like, yeah, sure. Let's see. Go for the Null Oil. The problem is I've got like one level and a bunch of things, and that's not exactly the strongest. But the problem is, like, we did a bunch of, like, draft matches, and the balance was kind of messy and hard to work around. And so either I mean, I think we had 2 matches where, like, the other person just lost by default in a way that felt immediately and immensely unsatisfying. And then we had another match that was, like, much more reasonably balanced. And then we decided to do the same thing for Strixhaven, and Shell's, like, booster pack luck for that draft was so insane that I was just like, I just give up. I'm not going to be able to do this. I can't even put together a halfway feasible combination, and I'd feel icky even just trying. Okay, Nebulous Sea Fog. Oh, see... I'm assuming liquid green stuff. Scales on these. We can get all of them. I wish I could lock them in. So she's got garlic. Gotcha. I kind of want to try and kill the Gracier if possible. I know I can just take it out manually, but it's a pain. Or I can take it out passively, just ignore it forever. And it's probably fine, but the sooner he's dead and not shooting me in the butt, the better. Let's see, fire another projectile. Probably. I mean, I don't know. I'll work on my fire shot things. I actually kind of like the fact that the garlic has a... Well, do I like the fact that it has a lag time on? Maybe. Okay, increases wounds by 20%. Ow. Yeah, we don't actually need the... Oh boy. Oh boy. And unfortunately, the damage from touching enemies is a little on the rough side. I'm used to Bullet Heaven specifically having, let's see. I'm used to Bullet Heavens having enemies have manual attacks now that the contact damage actually feels kind of rough. Okay, fire another projectile, increase size of attack. I don't think tape measure. Yeah, it was glue, boots, and dice. And the mug, which I should kind of head for. The other thing I could do is maybe head for one of the 2 magnets. Oh, there's only 1 magnet on the map this time around. Fair enough. Nope, there's a second one. I'll pick it up. Okay, base damage up by 10%. Yeah, base damage up by 20. Passes through more enemies. I kind of want to try and get the brazier staff up to get an evolution. You know, that was actually kind of a lackluster magnet compared to what I was expecting from it. Ay. It's fine. Luckily, ow. Let's see, what was I going to say? I was like, oh right, luckily I can shoot projectiles out of the sky. That's actually something I'm really appreciating about this. Makes them considerably less of a pain to dodge. The problem is, ow. Yeah, I've spread myself a little too thin. The last run had the extreme benefit of... Whoosh. Last run had the extreme benefit of being able to focus on like 2 things, so the Bolt Storm pistol is actually able to do a good amount of damage. Here, because I'm split across 12 abilities, none of them are actually able to shine nearly as well. It's making things harder. That's what I get. Lack of meta progression is probably not helping me, but that's okay. Let's see. Base damage up by 20. Unfortunately, the brazier staff is not really carrying. His damage is decent, but not like crazy good. Okay. I just have to avoid. I guess I could probably go find that munch power up. I don't know what is making that, like, kind of squeak honk. I'm assuming it's this, the alchemist. Let's see, projectile speed. Keep going for base damage. I'd like to level up my main attacks more than my passives, but only so much I can do. I wonder how many unlocks carry over between the Age of Sigmar and the 40k sides, if anything at all. I was actually assuming that you'd be able to just mix and match between the two. The fact that they are functionally separate games here is actually a little odd. I think it would have been kind of fun to have them combined down into one thing. Uh-oh. Ow. Where is it? It's just down here. Like reaching it though. There it is. Okay. Don't go stand in the damage zone. Well, I'll just get measuring tape. I mean, increasing the size of all my attacks is good. And will help me long term. Okay, passes through 2 more enemies. I mean, I guess I could go grab the dice. Yeah, we're not dead yet. Meta progression is certainly helping. Grab the cash, though honestly, those basic coins are not amazingly good. It seems like the wave AoE, or like the water AoE does also slow. It's good. Unfortunately, I don't think I've really invested much into it. Okay, yeah, I'll just come down here, grab the dice, and we'll just cycle up and around. It just gets me an extra level. I just don't care deeply about it. For that reason, I suppose. The tankard is going to be more useful, even at its base level. That's I think that doubles my self-heal. So it is certainly nice having self-heal this time around. Almost on it, just wrecked a little bit. There it is. Yeah, if I'd been thinking about it, I could have actually had 7 attacks. Though, I don't know, maybe wasting the slot for dice is not the... Well, wasting the slot for the dice ain't worth it, but I don't know if the... You know, clogging up the... the reward pool with the dice is worth it either. Who knows, maybe it's one of those where the evolution is actually, like, really good. Oh, hoy. I was not ready for that. Okay, so definitely need to spend some meta progression on moving a little faster. Because, yeah, I'm having a little bit of trouble running the gaps, and those guys are able to just harass me down into nothing. Oh, well, that went poorly. Okay. You know what? I don't think... Oh, we did. So we've unlocked the Brazier Staff, we've got the Figure Case, and we've got the Chaos Sigil. Alright, let's try the 40k side for a bit before we go. Because I want to... I mean, on a personal level, I wouldn't mind just sticking to Sigmar. So what are we going to do? Bottom right has a whole mess of things. So I think we might want to head right and then down. I'll see what I can do. Okay, so we start with a chainsword as opposed to like a bolter or anything like that. I mean, it's pretty good. It seems to largely do... Well, there's the bolt gun. It seems to largely do the same thing as the Tempest axes that we had earlier. Bolt gun is slightly different from the Storm pistol. Or Storm... I'm terrible with names. This is too much. So the bolter fires in the direction I'm facing. And supposedly does an explosion, but the explosion is pretty small. So it's probably only good at mulching, like, the little guys. Like, shooting those... Yeah, shooting those guys with a bolter actually does something. Right now, bolt gun just doesn't do enough damage to... just doesn't do enough damage, isn't big enough to actually make, like, a dent on these dudes. Let's see, what was I going to say about these things? It's interesting that this is so separate. I'd done... A test run of this. Mostly I just failed miserably because these guys actually chase you down now, which is actually a bit of a pain. Which makes the like Tyranid leaders or champions, elites, much more risky than I'd say the Skaven ones were. But yeah, all the meta progression is completely separate here. They are disconnected. I can't take money from one half of this game over to the next. I cannot, you know, no upgrades carry over in any way, shape, or form. I don't strictly mind that, but it feels weird. It's one of those situations where, like, I have to level up. I'd like to get it so that my chainsword at least... Okay. I'd like to get it so my chainsword at least swings both directions as opposed to just forward. Okay. Well. Or we don't get so lucky. Oh wow, those coins are worth functionally nothing. There we go. Grab this. Hopefully this gets me one more level? Nope, seems like it's just going to be one. More for the bolt gun. I mean, more projectiles is nice. Yeah, because the bolt gun aims in the direction I'm moving, and the sword currently only stabs forward, I'm only lethal to things in front of me, which is actually making this really tricky. Let's see. Does mean that I have, like, more stopping power when going in a direction towards a group of enemies. The problem I was running into with my... let's see, there it is. Problem I was running into with my Stormcast run... A Stormcast Age of Sigmar runs, because I wasn't particularly strong against enemies in front of me. And so I was kind of getting trapped. Though both of them still very much have the issue of cannot attack up and down very well, which is somewhat of a problem. We'll see. Okay. Do I go for the chainsword? I think so. As much as I want to invest in, like, Nuln Oil and some other stuff, I just can't. Since I was talking about getting into Warhammer, I'm doing, like, some light research on, like, what factions I would want for 40k. The problem is 40k is a little bit more expensive, and also, I don't think the rules are in quite as good of a state as they are in Age of Sigmar, and maybe that's a controversial take, I don't know. The people I know who play both have said that, like, Age of Sigmar is kind of their testing grounds, because 40k is so long-lived that Games Workshop is much more timid about making major changes to it for fear of pissing people off. Because, I mean, they threw out Warhammer Fantasy completely and then brought it back, calling it the old world, and that pissed a lot of people off. But Age of Sigmar is like a much more, I want to say, forgiving audience when it comes to, like, major changes, faction overhauls and whatnot, most of the time. Let's see. I'm just going to try and get my basic attacks up. The passives are nice, but they're not end-all be-all yet. Okay. We seem to be doing genuinely better. Let's see. A little bit of health, because why not? Sure. At least the wee-woos aren't too dangerous. Ooh, golden book thing? That might just be cash. It might be something more unique. I don't know. Oh, it was a hell of a lot of cash. Sick. But yeah, so that means the 40k, while it's still a good game, it has a lot of, like, design cruft that makes it, I think, a bit more difficult. Okay, so I have to kill all these guys before I can rescue them. Luckily, all of the Tyranids with the gun hands aren't doing a gun hand. I don't have to protect the guy either, I just have to clear out all of the dudes shooting at him. Size of attack increases by... let's increase the explosion radius. Is that it? Are we good? No, it's like this guy. Oh. This is, okay. I was going to talk about this a little bit. Yeah, so, like, I've been kind of looking into 40k, but yeah, once again, rules, and it's a little bit more expensive. The onboarding experience for Sigmar was kind of eased because Spearhead is apparently, like, one of the best game rules setups that Games Workshop has ever come up with, and so, like, a lot of people really like Spearhead. So I was like, okay, I'll just buy a bunch of Spearheads, and then that snowballed wildly out of control. Whereas I've heard Combat Patrol is a lot messier. And so it's one of those where it's like, I don't know, at some point I will pick up a 40k army. I just also haven't fully decided which I want to go with. Because that's the other tricky part, is like, do I want to go for Necron? Do I want to go for... Thanks for the rescue, Malum Kato. So we now have this guy. Does he have just gun? Flamethrower? I don't know what weapon he's packing. Okay, seems like he just fires a gun. Because, yeah, I could go overboard and potentially get everything. And so, the solution that we've kind of landed on is just get into Kill Team for now. Because we can get, you know, little groups with each of the different factions. Oh, shit, we're getting 5. Man, this would have helped out earlier. Still gonna help out. That's a decent amount of money that I can invest into making myself not garbage. Okay. Let's see, character moves faster. I'm gonna keep working on the attacks more than anything else. A little bit of movement speed is nice, but not, like, big necessary. Okay, we've got another box. Wait, there's 2 of them. What? They're multiplying. Ouch. Well, that's rough. Well, at least we've unlocked the White Dwarf, Dice Cube, Bandolier, Lightning Bolt, and now we can play as Kozlowski. Can somebody explain to me why Kozlowski started multiplying? Let's see. So what do I want to afford? Unfortunately, the extra attacks are too expensive. Yeah, uses weapons 1% faster. That's so basic. I think I'm just going to level those 2 up for the time being. Okay, return to the fight. So we can't get this. Gains redeployment every 15 levels. Starting weapon gains followers as it levels. Okay, that's interesting at the very least. Let's take a look at it. And then my wife very much wants to get into kind of Eldari / specifically the Ynnari, because it lets you also mix in some Drukhari into the faction, but they're in a weird place lore-wise, and I don't know where their rule set's at either, and so it's kind of like, would be nice to get into them, but yeah, there is a new edition coming out, so I think before either of us like really think too deeply about 40k, it's probably going to be one of those where we wait for, was it 11th edition? Before that's like out and people have like opinions on the new rule set and the factions and whatnot. Let's see. Reload time reduces by 0.2 seconds. It does make a difference. The problem is I'm still crap. Is what it is. So, let's see. The other reason why like we really got into Warhammer, to go back to the comparison with Magic. Holy shit, I'm so terrible. This is probably pretty classic and totally expected for anybody that plays. Oh god, but what's the faction? The just basic Astra Militarum. There we go. This is like the Astra Militarum experience. One tiny scared ass man running away from like a gazillion Tyranids. Shocked he isn't dead yet. Probably doomed. Plinking away at these guys. Eventually we'll get to the point where we can probably mow through them. Maybe. It would be a very funny and enduring joke if the Astra Militarum hero is just forever terrible. This is a complete goof. Oh my god. This is awful. Look at this. Oh, I love it. Let's see. What was I going to say about anything? But yeah, Ishel's whispering models are forever at me. And so, yeah, that's like one of the main reasons why we got into 40k after being kind of disappointed by Magic, is that like with our Magic cards, we would pick up a set and then 3 months later be somewhat pushed into picking up another set and kind of rinse repeat over and over and over again. I'm off. There's a base over to the right that gives me a flamethrower, and I should go grab that. Really wish I could activate all these gun emplacements, seeing as, you know, they're there and convenient and would be great for this problem. But it's fine. But, like, we gotten into Lorcana for a bit, because we figured... Let's see. We got into Lorcana for a bit, because we figured, one, kind of why not, two, one of our local friends is, like, really big into Lorcana, and so it kind of made sense. Let's see. But it was like every 3 months you had to pick up another like booster box just to say halfway competitive, if not more. You know, if you really wanted to get all the cards you wanted, sometimes you had to get like more booster boxes and more stuff, cards, packs, buy singles, so on and so forth. Like we could have actually just limited ourselves, but it just wasn't viable. Because once again, if we're playing with this one local friend who's super serious about, you know, card games, all of a sudden having, you know, limiting ourselves and having less cards meant that we were just going to lose every match, and that was going to be kind of disappointing. And so we're like, okay, well, we'll mess around with Magic for like a set or two because, you know, we like Magic and they have some good sets. But even then, it's like literally weeks later, they'd finished like the marketing campaign for Lorwyn with all the cute puppets and everything. And you're like, yeah, this is kind of a fun cultural moment. Then it's like, hey, by the way, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Avatar. All right, now we're moving on to Marvel again. And it's just like, there's no permanence to it. It's so slapdash, scattershot that it just... I don't know, I was losing Dice Cube, weapons fire more projectiles. Yersh. That is what I needed. Oh, unlocking that is huge, actually. But like, I kind of crave a thing that I can get committed to with a lot of my media nowadays. Media, franchises, products that I'm buying, and that... You know, Magic the Gathering just was not providing that anymore. Like, I miss the days when they would spend like a whole year on a set. You know, Mirrodin was like the sum total of, was it 2003, 2004? Unless I'm like way off the mark. I don't know, it's been a while. That was like the set that I cared the most about. And then they moved on from Mirrodin and I kind of lost interest, which is, I think, why they don't do that as much anymore. That it didn't actually have as much retention. Whereas just going full scattershot maybe works better. I should really look at what I have on the map. So, glue, Nuln Oil. The thing with the wounds, movement speed, and tape measurer. Well, oops. And that. I actually have a shit ton of stuff on the map. We might actually do really well on this run. Those extra projectiles from the Dice Cube is so good. Makes a huge difference. I do wish the passives were thematic. I mean, they are thematic. They're thematic to the game as opposed to the universe, and maybe that's fine. It definitely allows them to reuse assets from one side to the next. And it does make me wonder what evolutions they're going to be paired with, because yeah, this does give them the opportunity to mess around a little bit more. Let's see. What was I going to say about anything? Yeah, so for Warhammer... Let's see. Let's go with this. For Warhammer, it was one of those where we were looking into it and it was like, yeah, some of these models are like a decade old and they're still game worthy. And here's some models that aren't, you know, that are, I guess they go into Legends. You know, they're no longer officially supported. You can still use them if you're willing, but it's definitely not going to fit like tournament play or anything like that. However, you can also just have them as a proxy for like some other character. If, you know, so I picked up a group of Retributors, I think it was. Retributors or Paladins? For Stormcast. And then, I can just pretend that they are Annihilators with Grand Hammers. They have Grand Hammers, they kind of look the part, they're just, you know, visually slightly different, and it's fine as long as everybody understands. And they look sick, and it's one of those where it's like, I just don't get that in a lot of other collectible card games, or just games in general at this point. And so, like, I don't know, that was just one of the reasons why we were, like, super into the idea of picking up and getting into this faction. It also feels like Games Workshop has been saying and doing a lot of the right things recently. Like, big one for us is very much saying, like, hey, we don't like generative AI, we're not going to use it. We're not going to allow it in any of our, like, licensed products either. And so it's kind of like, oh, cool, it's a safe IP that I don't have to worry about, like, picking through things with a fine-tooth comb, being like, you know, does this have, oh, what was it? Let's see, do I want to grab White Dwarf? No, we can grab the dice, though I'm probably going to get wrecked here. This, I think it's a Norn, is giving them just a bit of a movement speed buff. I need him to die. And I did not manage to kill him. That's okay. I mean, it's a demo. It doesn't really matter to me. But we've unlocked the Lasgun and Bugman's Tankard, at the very least. And did I get enough? I did get enough money from that, possibly. That we can actually refund all and start with that extra attack. Because that makes such a difference. Let's put 2 into that. Yeah, that should be good. Alright. Well, I think the main thing I was going to kind of lightly complain about for this one is I actually really wish the enhancements were shared. that grinding in one would let you grind in the other. Otherwise, like, this is functionally two different games that are reskins of each other, both mechanically and visually. I don't strictly mind that, but I also don't see a reason why they need to be separate. I think it actually could be really fun. Maybe if there was like a thing that you unlock later on where you can just straight up take your Age of Sigmar characters and chuck them into the 40k side and vice versa. I guess the one problem is then you would have like potentially double evolutions, but maybe that's not a problem. You know, why not? Why not have it that Knave Black Talon's going around with both the, you know, the thunder axes and the chain sword? Who cares, right? It wouldn't be as thematic, but it does feel like it's kind of weird to just divide these two in half. Purely as a, I don't know. It's like, it's fan service, and I'm glad that they aren't just ignoring Age of Sigmar, because it really does feel like Warhammer, well, 40k is very much the favorite child, even though Age of Sigmar probably has the healthier, like, happier community. And so, like, I'm glad that Age of Sigmar is not getting passed over for this game. It's just as a game, it's weird to divide it in half in such a dramatic way. In a way that it feels like they could actually have bridging it as like an unlock system that could be really fun here. And maybe worth doing, maybe not. I think the other complaint I would levy is mostly just, well, okay, I got two. The other complaint is I didn't find the soundtrack particularly compelling. Warhammer, maybe I'm biased, but like Warhammer Mechanicus had such a transcendent soundtrack that is genuinely off-putting to me to have a Warhammer game that has just like kind of a nice background soundtrack, nothing like too fancy, nothing too like jamming. That I'd love to see that hyped up somehow. But again, that's, you know, a me thing. I can also just listen out of their soundtracks if I really want to. The other thing is, and this is, I think, there's no escaping this one, is because this is just Vampire Survivors reskinned, and luckily they're reskinning the like full version of Vampire Survivors with the maps that actually are worth exploring around and grabbing loot from. It does, unfortunately, just feel like more of the same for me. I've kind of burnt out on Bullet Heavens in a really bad way because they're just all Vampire Survivors but slightly different, and so for this to be Vampire Survivors but slightly different, but like the best version of it, I can enjoy it, I think I'll have fun with it, but some part of me was kind of hoping that they would inject a little bit of the Warhammer 40k into, or Warhammer 40k and Age of Sigmar into the actual gameplay itself. You know, we were running around those bases and those guns and everything, and I think it would have been like really cool if there were control points and like holdout spots, areas where you have to defend, fight off groups. You know, maybe there's like a stranded group of Astra Militarum that you have to go over and rescue. And so instead of having these map points where it's like, you know, oh, there's just the dice sitting in the empty field over there, I should go run over and get it. If it was like no, there's a bunker with like a bunch of, you know, scrubby Astra Militarum that are being attacked by like a platoon of orcs that have just shown up. And you have to kind of fend off the orcs for a bit. And then by rescuing the Astra Militarum, you get the dice. Obviously, like, it's the same thing, but it would feel more thematic. And then you could potentially even have it be one of those that, like, the more of those side objectives you're able to complete, the more you can get as, like, a power scaling thing. And then it would kind of feel like you're actually on a battlefield where stuff matters, as opposed to just an empty field filled with enemies. And so, like, it would be nice if they made it feel like the gameplay, the Wandering the Fields, is that, like, you are actually in the middle of an important battle. Even if it's just like one of the many, many important battles where nothing really changes between them. But like, that I'm in the middle of a battle where there's an objective, where there's some kind of like goal to defend. You know, maybe you're guarding the gates of like a big dwarven fortress and there's some fire slayers on the wall helping to fight or something like that. Or any number of stuff. I don't know. I think that would have made this feel a little bit more thematic and interesting. I don't mind it in its current state, but it feels like they could have done even more with it to make it more Warhammer, and then also more fun in the process. I hold no illusions that they're actually going to make that kind of change. I think it's just too late for that kind of thing. But that's like the one true complaint I'm going to levy here, is that Vampire Survivors already exists, and as much as I like the fact that there is a Warhammer-themed Vampire Survivors, I would like a more Warhammer Survivors, maybe. Anyway, the demo is available now on Steam if you guys want to dive in and play it yourselves, unlock all the different evolutions, try all the different, well, I was going to say try all the different characters, but I think you can't play as anybody other than the handful that I've already shown in this video. But you can probably win a run with actually like all the evolutions and stuff. We only saw one of them because they're a little hard to pull off. But yeah, anyway, just follow the link in the description below if you want to give it a shot. With all that said, I guess if you like this video in any way, shape, or form, leave me a like, it helps more than you know, and if you want to see more rad new games every single day, then hit subscribe because I got tons to check out and show off. But for now, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.